as of this morning, Texas A&M is set to hire offensive coordinator from Kansas State, Colin Klein. And there's a couple of facets to this. There's the obvious when it comes to the offense and what he brings to the table. The other side of this is, I think, what he brings to the table culturally and the standards he's going to help set at A&M. So we'll kind of unpack both right now. But when it comes to the football side of things, broad strokes, like Colin Klein's offenses, they score. They score, and they're freaking tough, okay? 37 points a game last season. Ran the ball right around 57% of the time. 41 carries a game. Okay, that was who they were. We're going to line it up. We're going to use some motion, some window dressing, give our quarterback some options, and we're coming right at you, north and south. Can you deal with it? Are you man enough to handle us for 4 quarters? If you're not, we're going to win the football game. And so you love that approach there from Colin Klein and Mike Elko. And my first thought with this hire, outside of the scheme, this is just Mike Elko doubling down on who he is. He can go out and get someone that doesn't fit his style. He can go out and get a guy who's air raid, who's going to throw it around the yard and kind of be that flashy big name that's going to make all the boosters happy and make all the fan base happy. Like, he went and hired a guy who matches his philosophy. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. We're going to have an identity about ourselves. Okay? Now, I would also say, with the hire of Colin Klein, I would imagine there is some hesitation within this fan base saying, ooh, isn't that the guy who runs the quarterback a lot? Connor Wegman, we love him, but we don't want to, have him doing the whole read the linebacker and then pull it and get downhill. Like, we like Connor Wegman, we don't want him running the football. I think with Colin Klein, a big thing you hear about with him is he is creative and innovative, and he wants to get the right guys the football. So I don't think this is someone that's going to come in here and say, this is the way that I do it. Players, adjust to my scheme. I think he's going to kind of take a look in the cabinet, see what he's got on the roster, see, okay, we got Evan Stewart, we got Connor Wegman, okay, we got all these playmakers. We're going to make sure we get them the football in the most productive way possible. You hear about the way that he utilized Deuce Vaughn. He's going to make sure Deuce Vaughn gets the ball in space and make sure his best player impacts the game. Okay, like that's who Colin Klein is. So if you're nervous about the scheme that he ran at Kansas State, I think it's a good starting point. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all with what you can expect from your offense this upcoming season. Now, again, going back to what we're saying here, this is all about establishing a clear identity and a clear culture for A&M. And the thing I love about this is, yes, Colin Klein is tough. As a player, was tough as nails, right? Heisman Trophy finalist, dude ran the football like a fullback, like that was who he was. But even more so, Colin Klein, you know what he is? He's a winner. Won at Kansas State as a player and as a coach, has been a part of winning operations. We said this yesterday, talking about the whole Evan Stewart thing and talking about, what Mike Elko was going to do with setting standards. And that wasn't anything to say of Evan Stewart. I think Evan Stewart can be at Texas A&M and thrive at A&M. And I hope that's what he does for Colin Klein's sake and for Evan Stewart's sake. But what I'm trying to say here is Colin Klein being a winner, we said it yesterday, standards attract the right people. Okay, Colin Klein left his alma mater to come be a part of what Mike Elko's doing at A&M. People are going to say, yeah, well, JD, it's the SEC, is probably getting a pretty nice chunk of change. I don't doubt that's true. But you have to believe in the nth degree to somebody to follow them, to get away from your alma mater. I think that means something. I think that speaks volumes to Mike Elko and what he's doing. I think that speaks volumes to the kind of individual that Mike Elko is to attract someone like a Colin Klein. And again, winning background. Winners want to be around winners. And so as far as I'm concerned, you got a winner as your head coach. You got a winner as your offensive coordinator now running the show and setting the temperature there in College Station. So it's all about the people at the end of the day. And I think you got 2 really good people with a background of winning running the show now in College Station. And now if A&M is tough, as much as they are talented, I wouldn't want to deal with them. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's a thing where it works next year or it works in 2 years, but if they adopt the identity of a Colin Klein and a Mike Elko, it's going to be a tough operation. And if you got to deal with them for 4 quarters like you've had to deal with Kansas State, it's going to be a dangerous football team. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.